We're live. We are back. Oh, now that's why that's not working. If you're going to catch this on the replay, man, I can't thank you enough for that. We get a lot of folks join us on our replays. Man, it's great for that. We thank you all for the thumbs up, shout outs, subscribing to the channel, donating to the channel, donating to your number one cause in the world, whatever that may be. I think is great. It is Monday night in my part of the world. It is about 84 degrees. It's a beautiful evening. We are under the threat of major storms and gigantic hail, they're saying, but I really don't think that's going to happen. But let me say thank you for being here. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. We got a lot we're going to talk about or can talk about. Remember, we can always talk about anything you guys want to talk about. If you have comments catching this on the replay, leave me a comment. If you got questions, let me know. Hey, well, there's Francesca. How are you? Good to see you. How are things in your part of the world today? We had a very busy weekend, very busy trip. So we're a little exhausted. I'm exhausted. Well, I think we're both tired. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen you. How you been? Everything going okay? So yeah, how's your weather where you're at? I mean, it's a nice evening today. We got a nice breeze. So, but this weekend we went on a trip, went to some different places. We are tired, man. I don't know if it's because we're getting old, all the road tripping, how it does on you. But my dog Lily's excited about something. Lily, it's all right. Psst, it's all right. Raining super hard with thunder. Yes. They were telling us earlier that we got a good chance of large-size hail and storms coming through, but I've been watching the radar here, and it seems like everything's missing us. It's still out in, Oklahoma and Texas area, southern Arkansas, central Arkansas, but it does seem to be missing us, luckily. But apparently we had a pretty good windstorm come through, at least over the weekend, because I got home and one of my part of my outdoor kitchen area was blown over. So toxics in the house. Well, I'm very happy for you. If you feel like you need to announce that to the world, then you just go ahead and do that. I have fainting spells and was wondering why you have any experience. Yeah, I sure do. I got a lot. One, go see a doctor. Go see a nutritionist. Look, I hate going to the doctor. I have a lot of health issues. I've been dead 4 times. Let me just tell you this. If you want to live, go to the doctor. If you don't, then do nothing. Either way. So, but if you're fainting, I'd go to the doctor. 2, I would see a nutritionist. Because I think, even though I'm fat and I'm old and all of that stuff, I think good nutrition and health, is intermingled together. I think the way we Americans eat is deplorable, and we're trained to eat like we do, and it's bad for us. I think if America could get away from sugar and could get away from chemicals, we would be a lot bigger or a lot happier and healthier of a nation. Yeah, that happens. Hey, Tim, how are you? Good evening to you. Say everybody said hello to each other. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Look, before I had my pacemaker installed, I was passing out on a regular basis myself. So I understand what it means to faint and to wake up and be confused. Luckily, I didn't break anything, but it definitely was a little scary at times. So good evening, Tim, Francesca. Everybody said hello to each other. All you blue people, remember you can drop a link at any time. Mike's in the house. Thank you. Howdy, folks. Like done. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. It's always important to get some thumbs up and good comments to keep us. I'm tired, Mike, Tim, Francesca, everybody in the house. We had a good weekend. We had an exciting weekend. We went to Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. Which, to be honest, there's nothing in Dallas for its sake of Dallas that I care about. But we did go to Plano, Texas, and have Jollibee, and then we brought a whole bunch of Jollibee back to Arkansas. We got here late last night and sorry, and dropped off some Jollibee to some other Filipinos that asked us to bring it back for them. So we did that. Let's see. What are you going to eat, Francesca's? I always like to know what people are going to eat. I like to know what people are eating. I don't know what I'm eating. We got a big party coming up this weekend. I know we got to go to the store Saturday. You guys are all welcome to join us, by the way. And I know we're cooking some things, but we don't have any fruit since we've been gone a few days. I like watermelon during the summer, and I'm out of watermelon. So we need to go and get some fruit in my house. I don't have any. Best part of going to Dallas is, I agree with that. Not a fan of Dallas, to be honest. I don't hate it, but it's not where I choose to go. But we have a family that lives on the outskirts of Dallas-Fort Worth, right? And so we actually went to go see them, but we had to go through Plano. We didn't have to. We made the point to go through Plano where Jollibee is. And then we made our way up and around to where they live. So we weren't in Dallas a whole lot. Francesca's going to be eating Wendy or Wendy's. I mean, that's a big deal. You know, sometimes with the, my wife will tell me something. I always got to double check. You mean Wendy's, like in the hamburger joint, or Wendy the person? Sometimes we don't know. So, support groups in the house, saying hello to everybody. Thank you. Somebody's barbecuing or grilling out. We got a big party coming up this Saturday, guys. I'm going to try to live stream it for you. But that just made me think of it. I can smell somebody grilling out. I can hear somebody mowing way over there, but I can smell it. But thank you for being here, support group. Thank you for the thumbs up. Arlington and Fort Worth. Yeah, I've been to Arlington. I did some adjunct faculty work at UT Arlington back in the day. And I would go over to Texas from time to time and teach a class or two related to OSHA, of course. And so been to Arlington quite a bit, not downtown Dallas so much. But my brother lives on a lake northeast, I want to say. Yeah, northeast. And so we went fishing, spent the day on the boat, hung out. You've probably seen the videos of Lorelai driving the boat, you know. She loves to drive that boat. And what else did we do? Man, we ate some Jollibee. We played pool with our family members, you know. They got a pool table at their house, so we shot pool a bunch. And then we we went to the Daiso Japanese store. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Daiso Japanese store, but it's a pretty cool little store if you don't know. There's a whole bunch of them in America. Let me see. But we're actually getting one where we live, believe it or not. I found out by looking that there's a Daiso's, which is like a Japanese Korean gadget store. Japanese Korean gadget store. Not like Best Buy, but more like, I don't know what you'd call, all kinds of weird little cheap stuff. I think most of the stuff is like $2.50 or less. So maybe a $2.50 store. And then some things are priced higher up. But they got a lot of cool things. A lot of crap you don't need, but just kind of cool. So we bought our family members a bunch of weird gadgets and things like that for them to enjoy. So how's everybody else doing? What have you guys been doing over the weekend? Did I miss anything over the weekend? Yeah, it's kind of like an Asian dollar store, but it's more than $1. It's pretty cool, to be honest. I mean, lots of kitchen gadgets. Not a lot of high-tech stuff at all. But it does have all the weird little fans and snacks and, dish rags, kitchen stuff, bathroom stuff, storage. I bought some storage things. We like storage gadgets because we have so much crap. And so we bought some of those. And they have some Korean stuff. And we have some friends that are really into eating Korean style foods. And we bought them some decorative things for Korean eating. All right. So Tim's starting to get excited. Tim, to Canada, right? Are you coming this June? Thank you all for the thumbs up if I haven't said that, by the way. You coming in June or July? So we had a great time. It was very tiring. I did all the driving. Lorelai snores and slept through the car, majority of the time, but which is okay. Which the fun thing is how we drive is I drive and Lorelai navigates, and we've gotten a pretty good system down to where when I need her to navigate, I wake her up, and then she knows how I like it, and she tells me, reinforces things, and we do that. August the 7th. All right. And how long are you going to be in Canada land? We've just owned Canada again. I guess I wasn't here and I wasn't paying attention to the news, but I guess Canada tried to add a tax to digital media from America, and President Trump said, no, we're not going to do that. Go away. All deals are off. We don't want anything to do with you anymore. From what I'm paraphrasing, then I guess Canada came out Monday and said, oh, no, we decided to take that tax away, so there's no reason for you to hate us. I don't know. One of these days, America and Canada is going to have to get on the same damn page. And I don't know why Canada and America can't just have free and open trade without any tariffs, why they can't make the border easier while preventing drugs and illegals. I don't know why we can't cooperate better with Canada. I don't know why Canada can't work better with us. I don't know. I just don't get it. But then again, nobody's been asking me, Tim. Nobody's been asking me shit about politics. Nobody says, hey, how can you do this? What should we do? I have not been getting phone calls for my advice to go up the ladder. So you're going different, man. That's a long flight for 2 weeks. We're going to go to the Philippines like in 2027, I think, is when we need to go back there to take care of some business. And I thought about, well, man, it's such a long flight. And since we've been in the Philippines a lot, and we've been there, done that with the Philippines, I don't want to stay 30 days in the Philippines because it's boring. So I told my wife, I said, maybe we can fly over, spend 2 weeks, then fly to like Singapore or Australia and do a cruise or something, and then fly home. Nobody asked your opinion either. I know, man, but they should, right? They should ask our opinion. Well, let me say this, Tim. Nobody with any power, asked my opinion. Nobody's asked my opinion. So, but that means anything. I get messages every day, people asking me, hey, Support group says he was talking about buying Canada. Yeah, one thing, if you guys don't know, and I understand this strategy, and I don't mind it. A lot of people get pissed off, and bent out of shape. Part of Trump's negotiation style is to the extremes, and he does this intentionally. Fine, if we can't do business together, then I'll just buy your country. Then he gets everybody mad at him because that country's not going to want to be bought by America. It's not going to happen. It's not realistic. It's not feasible. It's not going to happen. But it makes kind of like a crap storm. It gets people bent out of shape and talking, blah, blah, blah. And then it's kind of like a deflection from the small things that he wants to get accomplished. So he has all of this garbage out here, and down here they're working on the small crap. Then they get the small crap fixed and it's all fine. So that's what they do. Because what his strategy is, he doesn't want the masses talking about the details. He wants the masses talking about this crap out here that's not real, so that the small group of people that can actually do something can work on the small stuff. That's his psychology, his methodology. Whether you like it or not, that's his strategy. Tim just says, I don't have an opinion on anything. Well, that's all right, Tim. Sometimes not having an opinion is not a bad thing. I got friends that are kind of, you know, look, I can barely pay my electric bill. I don't care about anything else but getting the basics taken care of. And I got other friends that are so into things, it's unbelievable. And I got people that have a lot of money and they don't care, but they already got their money. They already got money in the bank, so they don't really care what happens as long as their money doesn't go away. And I really don't think, if you want to know the truth, the majority of the people really care. We definitely do not care about the big picture. And this is part of that distraction thing. We got to keep ourselves focused on the micro, not the macro. So therefore, we're looking at our immediate needs. And that's what everybody wants. Every company, every government wants the small people like us focus on, what am I going to eat today? How am I going to pay my bills? Therefore, we're not looking at what they do. So the majority of the people just don't care because they need to figure out how to pay their own bills. Yeah, worry about myself, everything else will work out. And I have kind of the same strategy, to be honest. I tell people all the time, I watch politics and I like business news and I like all of that cool stuff because I just find it fascinating. But I don't make decisions on it. So it's not going to influence my decision-making process. I already have a strategy. I know what I believe. I know what I want to do and what I want to accomplish. And I'm going to be focused on that, not this other out here. Tell people it's going to be another Watergate. You think it's going to be another Watergate? Where they're spying on each other? Well, that's all that was. They got caught spying on each part. They do that publicly now. So now if you mean that he's going to have to resign like Nixon, that ain't going to happen. It won't happen, and I can tell you why it won't happen. Smoke screens. That's it. Smoke screens. That's it. It's a very classic technique in business, politics, law enforcement, you name it. Smoke screens. That's it. Used every day, everywhere. But if you're thinking that it may become a point where he has to resign and it's not going to happen. He's going to finish his term, period. Remember, now he's at about 3 years and 7 or 8 months to go. There's no way they're going to get him out of office. They're just not. I don't care what they do to him. He's not leaving that office. And the best thing everybody can do is just like we do with every other politician is just ride the storm out. Because I tell people all the time, look, what it is today is not what it's going to be tomorrow. What's tomorrow is going to be what it was yesterday. It just goes round and round and round and round and round and round. And it's who's ever, and I do kind of believe this. I think the spoils goes to the victor. Meaning, right now, the Republicans are the victors, so they get to make it. Next time, when the Democrats get to be the victor, well, then they get to dictate. It's just one of those things. But I think he uses most smoke screens, and I think he does it well. And I do think there's some teeth behind his smoke screens, but I think a lot of it's fluffing. I always called it in my business, Tim, and everybody. I always called it in my business the fluff and the puff, because I did a lot of private consulting work, and I would visit with people, and they would like to be dazzled and distracted with all of this. I knew if I distracted them with science and methodology of my process, then they would just pay me and leave me alone. And I could get done what I needed to get done without hassle. The art of the deal. That's it. Well, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I think I'm sunburned. I wore my hat out on the pontoon boat over the weekend. And here's what's funny. My lips are sunburned. I have no clue how my lips got sunburned. Can you believe that? So in a couple of days, I'm going to look like a zombie, because my lips got sunburned. How in the hell does your lips get sunburned? I don't understand how I did that. I'm wearing a hat. So I just thought I'd tell you guys that so you can feel bad for me. You can have some empathy and pity for me. It is the art of the deal. You blow it up, do the smoke screens, then figure out what everybody truly wants. Because look, we all know this strategy in life. Let's say if I want $300,000 for my house, I don't go out there advertising my house for $300,000. I tell everybody I want $375,000. Well, now as we negotiate and we get down to it, we come up with what does the seller really want and what does the buyer really want to pay. So after all of the fluff and puff and all the hoorah and all the fantasy crap, we get down to the nuts and bolts. What is it that you really want? Well, I know I would take 300. They will give me 325. Boom. Maybe. It may have been. I mean, look, man. Tim, you maybe got. I really don't know how the hell my lips got sunburned. We weren't in the direct sun. We had a canopy on the big pontoon boat, and I drove the boat a lot. I let Lorelai drive a lot, and I fished a lot. But I really don't know. I thought maybe it was wind chapped, from being out on the water. But no, I'm 99% concerned it's sunburned. But my forehead's not sunburned. My cheek, so it may have been. Flapping them gums out there, right? Oh my God, it was funny though. But it was a good day. Good day. We were on Lake, if anybody knows this, we were on Lake Eagle Mountain in Texas. Eagle Mountain Lake. And I hate to tell them this. One, there's not a mountain, and I didn't see any damn eagles. How it became Eagle Mountain Lake, I don't know, because there is no mountains around there at all. And we saw no eagles. Saw a bunch of buzzards eating a dead deer on the road. So, I don't know. But it's a beautiful lake, believe it or not. Really nice, very, looks like a lot of wealthy people live there. There's beautiful homes all over the shoreline. The shoreline's really shallow, so you can walk up to the water. Versus where I live, we live in a reservoir. That's a reservoir too, technically. But we're built on a river, and our banks are steep. I mean, it's, there is no level ground on my lake here. So it was kind of nice to see that. It had a very much Texas vibe, I guess, or southern vibe versus the lake we have. My lake here has more of a northern vibe. But I think you're right, man. Too much flapping the gums. Or I didn't stay high. I feel like I'm dehydrated. And I know I'm having a Coke right now, and I know that's probably the worst thing for me because I feel dehydrated. But we did drink Gatorade. Lorelai took good care of me over the weekend. We had a good time visiting family. My niece, who's a professional horse trainer and horse racer. I don't know what you call them. So she's a professional champion girl who rides horses around in a circle, or barrel racing. And she also trains horses to do that. And then she also boards horses. So we went to her ranch and hung out there for a while. And Lorelai got to take a bunch of pictures with the horses, and she had some Mustangs that they just brought in from Arizona. So to house. So they got some free Mustang horses, I guess. Beautiful animals. Lorelai had a great time. Boy, it was hot out there though, and it was nice. It was nice. But we are definitely glad to be back in the homeland. Oh man, I got to tell you, on our way home last night, right? We get Jollibee in Plano, Texas, and we're coming, I guess, north. I don't know what road that is, but I'm coming north out of Plano into like Denton, Texas, right? And all of a sudden, we're in a gigantic traffic jam on a Sunday evening. And so we know there has to be an accident or something, right? So we're there, and of course, our GPS on our phones are going off saying, police ahead. Then they start talking about how there's debris in the road, right? And I'm like, all right. So sometimes things fall off trucks and they fall in the road, and you know. So when we finally get up to where it is, it's on an overpass. There's not debris in the road. There's a hole. I swear to God, well, you could put me in it. There's a hole the size of me in the road. You can see where the concrete, I don't know what happened, but some of the concrete is popped out of it and some of it's falling through the hole. So there's a freaking hole in the, what is it? There's 4 lanes, right? 1, 2, 3. So this one. So this one would be the exit lane. So I guess whatever that'd be the outside lane, second to the outside lane. And they got it all blocked off with police cars because I guess they're waiting for a fix-it crew to come and fix it. I don't know what they're going to do. But man, I haven't seen something like that in a long time. And I mean, it's a hole. It's a hole. And we did go by the Texas Motorsport Speedway. We did on one of our adventures through there. It's the first time Lorelai ever seen the Texas Speedway. I guess it's under construction. I guess they're remodeling it. It looks beautiful. I don't know anything about racing, but it looks like a beautiful place. A lot of stuff going on there. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on there. And it looks like if you're into racing, it's going to be a beautiful facility. And it looks like it has 2 racetracks. I think there's one on asphalt for the NASCAR or something, and the other one was a big dirt track. They got a big dirt track on that property too. So that was kind of cool to see that. But on that, we were shocked. We went into Jollibee the first time on Saturday. Went to Jollibee, and I'm telling you, I know Plano and Dallas is a really highly populated area. A lot of people live there. But Jollibee, I swear to God, that place is so busy. It blew me away watching how much food they were pumping out in the hour we sat there. Oh my, they must have served 200 people in an hour. And when we were there in the afternoon, not at noon, on a Saturday. So they had to serve 200 people there in that hour on a 2:30, 2 to 3 or whatever it was, on a Saturday afternoon. Man, it was crazy. Loud, noisy. Lorelai loved the food. It wasn't the best, but it was, reminiscent, is that the word? Reminded her of home. So we ate Jollibee. I had the beef steak, and I don't like the American Jollibee. Maybe you guys in the Philippines can tell me. Has Jollibee in the Philippines changed their menu to add better hamburgers? The ones in America now, they sell like Angus designer hamburgers. You know what I mean? Fancy hamburgers. versus the little Joy Burger. So they've had to become Americanized, I guess, enough to stay in business because they sell fancy hamburgers and they sell mashed potatoes and gravy like KFC. And I think they still have rice, and they sell macaroni and cheese kind of like Chick-fil-A does. So definitely some changes. Definitely some changes. The interesting thing was, and this is probably going to sound racist and horrible, but I was definitely the only white guy in there, period. So, but everybody else was in there eating and feeding like crazy, man. And then we went back late Sunday evening on our way home to pick up fresh Jollibee for our friends here. Luckily, it wasn't that busy. But, I don't know, we probably spent $100 at Jollibee over 2 days. And we brought food back to our friends, of course. So that's why so much. But it was pricey. I mean, very pricey. Really expensive. But you got to pay those American prices, right? Just because it's an Asian restaurant doesn't mean you get the prices of Asia. Otherwise, that place would be swamped, you know. We did a comparison years ago down in Houston, Texas, the Jollibee compared to, and maybe I got the receipts. Maybe I'll go back and, no, that's a good thought, David. Maybe I'll go back and do another comparison video if I can find the receipt from Jollibee and translate it into America, from American to pesos. So how much that food would actually cost in the Philippines versus here. And when we did it years ago, for everything we bought in Houston was like $5 or $6 worth, and we paid almost $20 in America for what we would have paid $5 or $6 in the Philippines. So it's crazy. But it reminded us, just like the Philippines, it was loud, noisy, and packed. The only difference, I'll say this, and I told Lorelai this. I said, they've done a good job. It reminds me of being in the Philippines, except for the fact the restaurant was dirty. It was dirty. And, whether any of you guys out there in the world thinks the Philippines is a dirty place or a clean place or what, one thing I would tell you, and this is the honest truth, as much as we've been there, as much as we've eaten all over the different restaurants, chain restaurants, mom and pop restaurants, you don't usually run across dirty restaurants. Now, if they're outside, they're going to be somewhat dirty because they're outside. But you don't run across places where the tables haven't been wiped and picked up and the trash picked up. The Jollibee in Plano was dirty. They didn't have enough people to keep it up. Ken says a worker at Jollibee in the Philippines make around $6 to $8 a day. In America, they make 15 to 20 an hour. Says, oh, I agree. Plus the ingredients, right? There's so many markups in middleman. Oh, you gotta, it's kind of like I was jokingly told our friends who wanted us to bring Jollibee back, Ken. So no, the Jollibee's free. You just got to pay a $3,500 transportation fee to get it here. So exactly. And to be honest, I will say this: the first time we went to the Plano Jollibee, there seemed to be Filipinos working there. I didn't see an Asian person working at Jollibee. There may have been in the back, but out front, I didn't see Asians. I saw white kids, white young, teenagers, white teenagers. So, but it was just, dirty. Nobody had bothered to come out and clean off the tables. And they got a high turnover, so somebody needs to be out there. And all the time, Ken, I don't know about you, but, I don't remember tables being dirty, at Filipino. They come and clean things really well. So I was a little disappointed in that. And it may be the fact that I don't like to eat where somebody else just ate and threw up all their food and garbage and trash. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm a little bit of a weirdo. I like things to be a little bit neater, but so I went and got some paper towels out of the bathroom, wetted them down with some soap out of the sink, and washed our table. And then we ate off of the trays. So, but the trays probably aren't cleaned, you know. So, no, 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 it's just crazy. It's crazy. But I was shocked to see that now they have all these fancy Angus burgers at Jollibee in Texas, which I get. You know, they got to compete, I guess. You know, I was telling friends and family, you know, that Jollibee was a combination of like McDonald's and KFC together. Well, you know, as long as you don't look down or look in the kitchen. But but to be honest, we've eaten out a lot, and they do a really good job, I think, of cleaning the tables off. I mean, you know, and of course, maybe my standards are lower. Well, that's a good question for all of us. If you're in America, do you think there should be do we expect a higher standard versus when we go to the Philippines or Mexico or Honduras? Do you think our expectations, you know, so maybe is that what it is? Maybe when I go to the Philippines, I have no expectations, and so the bar is a lot lower. When I go to America, I expect more. Oh, yes, they will most of the time in the Philippines, but I know what you mean. So I just thought it was interesting. I did, but you know, it was a good time. It was just something to do. You know, and Ken, I know you're getting really close to that all-in date, which man, we're excited for you. We are excited for both of you. So I know you're getting close to that all-in date, and but I wonder, when we're in America, do we expect a higher standard of things versus, you know? All right. So because I'm starting to think that, Ken. I admit my standards are lower in the Philippines as much as I love the place, but yes, in America I expect more. Plus, well, and that's right. That's kind of what I mean. I'm paying more, so by God, you better do better, right? If I'm only paying $5 to feed two people, well, you know, I'm not going to expect a whole hell of a lot. And I guess in another way, I don't know how this relates, but I feel like I want to do a better job tipping in the Philippines than I do in America. I feel like, I feel like they're working harder for the money. So to, yeah, I don't know. Is that a is that a true statement that they're working harder for the little bit of money they get, or is that just our perception because we come from America and we know what the wages are here, we know what the wages there, and we go and we equate the two. Oh, you're bringing me my food at the restaurant. That person's making $20 an hour in America. You're making $6 a day. So I should give you more money as a tip. I mean, you know, or is that just us, our logic, our thinking, our process in that? But yeah, when I'm not getting much, I guess I don't. When I'm not paying much, I don't expect that much. That is true. I think that's true for everything. It's kind of like if we can, look. If I go out there and I buy myself a $10,000 used car, I'm not going to expect it much. But if I go out there and buy a $70,000, $80,000 slightly used car, I'm going to expect a hell of a lot out of that dealership and that car and that brand, you know. So maybe it's kind of the same thing. I don't know. But, Eddie Bragg Jr. says hello and thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Problem is in America, more often than not, workers in different places don't have the same work ethics as the Philippines. I've lived here for going on 4 years. No, I totally agree with that. The work culture in the Philippines and other Asian countries is not like America. It's one of the things that frustrates a lot of Filipinos. I agree. Plus, I feel better about giving extra to someone who's working hard and still don't. Yes, and don't make much money, so I tend to give them more. Yeah, I do too. But my question is it our perception that they're not making more? How do they feel? How does that in person? I know the answer, but I'm asking, out here hypothetically, theoretically, how do the Filipinos feel? Do they think the $8 a day is a good day? You know, and it seems the Filipinos here work harder, and they are happier. Look, there's no look. One thing I've learned the hard way, and I'm saying I'm any good at this, but a simpler life, be honest, can make you a lot happier. You know, I believe a lot of people that live from third world countries are happier because they don't have all this bullshit stress that we have in America or Germany or Australia. When you guys all talk about America being a rat race, it's a nightmare of a rat race. That's why I tell people that want to immigrate to America, man, you need to think twice about this shit. You need to really think hard about this. It's a great country. It's a land of opportunity, no question. But Ken agrees with you there, Eddie. And Eddie, we appreciate you, by the way, buddy. Which part of the Philippines are you in? My wife's from Cebu, if I haven't mentioned that on this live stream. So we lived in Cebu. Ken says, yes, they do think $8 a day is a good day. Most don't have that at all. I would agree. I would agree. I would agree. So, my wife got on to me a few times living in the Philippines because she would go run around with friends and she would order me Grab or something to go, food to show up. And she's like, now look, she would pull the tip money out and say, look, you're only going to give them this much. And I'm like, nah, look, man, I was like, yeah, but you're tipping them 90% of what you're buying in food. I'm like, well, who cares? We ordered $5 worth of food. The guy has to ride a damn scooter through Cebu to get my damn food here. Let's give him another $5. you know. So my wife would say, no, it's not good to do that. It's not good to do that. I'm like, oh, all right. That is exactly when I was in America, I didn't even want to get out of the house. Yeah. No, I mean, that's the bad thing. We love America. We like all the opportunities and the health care, which is a big thing for me. But it's like going through Dallas yesterday. Fuck, I hated it, guys. I hated it. Hated it with a freaking passion. I don't like crowds anymore since my coma. So, I have PTSD and blah, 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 blah. So, and then everybody's so angry here. Hell, they're angry. America's angry. Let's see. Eddie says, he's living in Mindanao now. All right, nice. Nice. And you've been there 4 years? Is that what you're saying? You've been there 4 years? Oh, man. Yeah, when we were in the Philippines, we didn't get Jollibee all the time, but, we actually like some of the other places better, much better. But as you all know, Jollibee is a real treat for the Filipinas that live in America, right? To get to go to something that reminds them of their home. So, Daddy says, hello, Daddy. Good to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Almost 4 years. Yeah, you like that? You've been there 4 years. Watching from Bakersfield, California. Well, I heard that there's one decent person that lives in Bakersfield, and that was it. I did. I heard that. I heard there is one really good guy that lives in Bakersfield. Kid knows who that is. Hey, John, Big John, JB's in the house. Just hate they don't sell bread. Oh, my God. Sanders. You mean breast or breast? I mean, where are you going? What road you down to? You can buy breast in the Philippines. Just go to the street corner or walking street. What do they call it? Red Street? Or are you talking about, what are you talking about? You got to clarify your answer on this channel. Hey, Tim, Ken, everybody. Hello, John. Hello. Shake and bake. Yes. Chicken breast. All right, just trying to clarify. Jollibee doesn't sell chicken breasts. Is that what you're saying? I didn't realize that. Is that true? Ken, anybody in the Philippines? Um, Eddie, what about you? Do they sell chicken breasts in the Philippines? At KFC? I mean, sorry, at Jollibee? We don't eat chicken breasts. We only like dark meat. So I've never noticed whether they do or they don't. Really haven't. Never thought about that. We don't like to eat chicken breasts unless it's like on a salad. So we're not big into that. I know in America they sell a lot of chicken sandwiches now at Jollibee and the Angus burgers at Jollibee. So I saw that on the menu. So maybe the sandwiches are chicken breast. And I know, Sanders, you got one pretty close to you. You got the American version down where you live. We went to the one in Plano, Texas. So we were only, 6 hours away from you. We could have swung by and had dinner. I don't get chicken from Jollibee or McDonald's. You're probably a smart man, man. You're a white meat guy. See, we eat only dark meat, unless it's in a salad or a soup. I tell you, you just got to buy a whole chicken and you get two breasts. That's right. Buy the whole thing and you get two of them. I don't think so, but then again, I haven't had fried chicken because of health reasons. I don't go there anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I just never thought about that. I really had never done it. I got chicken hamburger. Oh, I like chicken hamburger helper. I like hamburger helper. I like hamburger helper, boys and girls. Look, maybe it's because I was very fond of it when I was extremely poor, instead of just being regular poor. I like hamburger helper. I like it. Fried, not for food. Yes, I got you. Now you're all right. I kind of guessed that's where you're going with that. So I kind of took a liberty there. But I was surprised how many Angus burgers they're selling at Jollibee now. Because all I wanted was, and I hate them. All right, I'm going to tell you, I hate the freaking Little Joy burgers because they put mayonnaise on them, right? Can't stand mayonnaise on a hamburger. But for some reason, I kind of miss that stupid little hamburger. I miss that little hamburger. And I don't think we could get one there. They didn't have them at the Plano, Texas one. Grew up on that too. Yep, Jollibee is not known as. Oh, yeah, there's nothing healthy in Jollibee. Anyfin is possible. Driving and listening to everybody. Hey, Anyfin, good to see you, buddy. How are you? Man, everybody, by the way, if I haven't said this already, make sure you subscribe to each other. Join each other's channels and help everybody grow and all that good stuff. So, yeah, it's not health food. Now, I will say I was excited. All right, very excited. Because I got to admit, I do love the mango peach pie. I'm a fat guy, so I like sweets. And yes, they're horrible for you. I got two free yesterday. Two free. There was an American guy, I guess, who he came out and was walking the room giving out these little survey things. And he said, hi, my name is, I don't know, Brian, and I am the fry guy. And we would like to know what you guys think. And if you do this survey, you'll get a free pie. I'm like, all right, let me do the surveys real quick because I brought a bunch home. Because I put them in the freezer, right? And then I'll bring them out and I'll put them in the toaster oven when I want one of the little Jollibee pies. Because that's my favorite thing at Jollibee is the pie. So, but we got two free. So I was very excited that I got two free. All good. Yeah, one of these days, if my wife ever goes back to working days, I'll be up early enough in the morning to start watching you again. I just have to sleep in. But we appreciate you, Anyfin, for listening and chiming in and helping us out. Anymore, I just get your wife to cook for me. Yeah, my wife works. She's the breadwinner. She makes money. She's the rich girl. So she doesn't cook that much. I do more of the cooking, which I actually like to cook, so I'm okay with that. But her cooking is healthier than my cooking. I will tell you that. When we first got married, I dropped God, I think 40 pounds because I ate everything she cooked, you know. But over 6 months, I lost a bunch of weight because she cooked everything that she would cook at home back in the Philippines. So Pat's in the house. Good evening, everybody. Everybody say hello to Pat. Pat, everybody's here tonight, man. Good to see you, Pat. Say hello, hello to everybody. Everybody, hello. Same for me and my wife. Yeah. So, so I do a lot of the cooking. Lorelai did, but the problem is Lorelai doesn't like my cooking. So I try to cook it, and I'm pretty good at Filipino food. But, so we struggle with that, but that's all right. And, but yeah. Thank you, Pat. Good to see you too. How are you feeling, buddy? How's things going in your part of the world? We're back from our long weekend. I know you guys saw the video of us in Jollibee and on the boat and all of those things. Lorelai posted a bunch of stuff on Facebook, I think, over the weekend. So of our little, our 3-day fast trip where we brought back, lots of Jollibee for our friends. So we're glad you're doing good, Pat. We got some, I can't tell you what it is, but I'm going to tease you because I'll tell you later in life. A little tease is we may have some news that will change our world, but I can't tell you what it is. So just throw that out there as one of those little nuggets. There may be some news coming down the pike that will definitely change our world. It'll change other people's world way more than mine, but still. Ah, you like the Filipino food, Eddie? Yeah, I'm not into adobo, to be honest, pork or chicken. I can make it. I make it pretty good. I make pork lechon, pork belly. I do a lot of the dishes very well. I have a couple cookbooks that I've learned from, and I've asked a lot of the women that come to our parties, what did you do? Just curiosity. What did you do? How did you do it? And I've learned going, well, I don't like it that way. I don't like this. I don't like that. So I like cooking food. Yeah, MJ was in the house earlier, coming in to support us. Any Finn's in the house. Eddie's in the house. Tim's in the house. Ken's in the house. We got the whole group in. Tim says, I know one person that doesn't like my cooking. I agree with you. Let me ask this question. Is there anybody that likes their own cooking? Because I don't like my cooking at all. I think I suck. I don't. But when I cook dishes, people scarf it up and eat it. But I go, man. Adobo makes me sick if I eat it. I don't like adobo, partly because I don't like bones in my food. I don't. And I don't like pork fat. So there's a problem there with the pork adobo. The chicken adobo, I don't like the bones. I'm not into eating meat, fat meats, and I don't eat a lot of meat to begin with. So, but adobo just doesn't do it for me at all. Now, when we come to pancit, I like some pancits. I like the lumpia is my favorite, of course. Oh crap, I just lost it. You get it at Jollibee sells it. The noodles with the yellow sauce, with the egg, with the little pork crumblings on top of it. Dang it, I can't think of what it's called now. I really like that. And I'm a big fan of mung beans and coconut. I like that. So. Yes, my wife taught me how to make a few things like a fish made from tuna. Yes. The soy sauce is too strong and the vinegar is too strong for me in adobo because I can't stand vinegar. I can't eat too much of fat in my meat. Makes me, yeah. I just don't like the way the texture is. My wife was telling me, we went by the, I don't know if it was or not, but as we were driving at some part in Texas, because we got lost a tiny bit, gotta admit, my navigator didn't do such of a good job navigating us. But we ran across a place and it looked like a stockyard, but it wasn't the stockyards. It wasn't that. I know what the stockyards look like. And I told her, I said, oh, that's a slaughterhouse or something. She's like, oh, can we go in there and get some beef skin? And I'm like, beef skin? Yeah. We're gonna boil it down for the party, and and I'm like, and it becomes all kind of gelatinous like, and I'm like, ew, no, we can't have that. No, we're not gonna eat that. Yeah, I don't like the pork. The fat doesn't do well on me. I don't like it. I don't like fish fat. Vinegar either, yes. Taste buds are changing. It is when we get old, man. Let me tell you. One thing is, I will say my taste buds have improved, right? I will say this. Since getting married many thousands of years ago, and Lorelai coming into the world and cooking more, and we using fresh ingredients, I will say my taste buds have changed for the better. Because before I met Lorelai, I ate mainly TV dinners, canned soup, and sandwiches, and I was a happy camper. I would buy the really good TV dinners, buy the really good Campbell's, soups, and man, I was a happy camper. But I'll say after all of these years, I can't stand them. They taste horrible. The canned soup, the canned chili that I used to love, now tastes yucky. So, mine have changed. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but because I tried to buy some gumbo in a can a couple months ago. Brought it home, was all excited, made some cornbread, was going to have some gumbo and cornbread, and oh my God, one of my favorite things. And I'm like, the hell is this? Is this even food in here? It looks more like the stuff I give my dog. In fact, I think my dog eats better than what's in this can of soup. Wife said that she has noticed that I have slimmed down a lot since we got married because yeah. No, it happens, to be honest. 1000%. Fresh ingredients, if you can get them, which is you can do in the Philippines versus here. It's hard to get fresh ingredients that are good ingredients here in America. It really is. I don't know why, but it's extremely hard. In the Philippines, it's easy. The chicken's not a week old, 2 weeks old. Inject it with saline solution. It's a fresh chicken. There's a lot more fruits and vegetables that are ripe and not chemically treated in the Philippines. So I'm with you. We lost weight. We tell the story, Eddie. When we were living in the Philippines, we ate, my wife and I, and of course, the extended family, ate like pigs in the Philippines. I mean, anything we wanted to order, anything, because we have the money, right? Anything that we wanted to buy, or they wanted to buy, anything they wanted to buy, anything they wanted to grill, anything they wanted to order, all the red ribbon and Goldilocks you could get your hands on. And we still lost weight eating like pigs in the Philippines compared to being in America. I mean, once I got back to America, my weight started creeping up immediately. It's amazing. Gumbo, yeah, good gumbo. Oh, I love gumbo, man. About all I like is hot dogs, hamburgers, and sloppy joes. Ooh, I haven't had a sloppy joe in a long time. We're going to have hamburgers this weekend. I'm going to grill some hamburgers. We're having a bunch of Filipino food, but I'm going to grill some hamburgers. That's it, Eddie. I know what you're talking about. Real fresh. You have to go somewhere else. You can't go to Walmart or Aldi's. Yeah, I know what you mean in America. I'm with you. Pat says, I'm making Sloppy Joe tacos. They're good. You gotta, I'm going to have to Google that, Pat. Sloppy Joe taco? I'm going to have to check that one out because I might like that. Yeah, I hate to admit it, but we ate like pigs. So we had red ribbon all the time and Goldilocks, whatever we wanted. And then we would buy, you know how it is, right? There's only two of us, but extended. So we would buy a big old cake, and Lorelai and I would, get our share, and then we'd just give it away to the neighbors, give it away to the kids, because we were never going to go through a big old red ribbon cake, you know. Oh, the mango roll. Oh, Jesus. Now you're making me drool. And the mango cake, which is $58 in America, by the way. If you go to a Red Ribbon and you try to buy the mango cake that they do, it's like 58 bucks here. The mango roll, I think, is $34. You know, Tate down in South Texas could probably go into Red Ribbon and tell us. Damn good mango rolls. Oh my God. I just get some pre-wrapped slices. Oh. That's funny. You got to hang on to that, right? Yeah, no, I mean, I hate to admit it, but we ate like pigs, Here, we eat like we're peasants living on the street and we blow up, you know. But hopefully things are changing in America when it comes to food quality. But we miss Red Ribbon. I mean, our friend James Robinson out of California, I think sometime last year, he sent us a little goodie box of Goldilocks, because you can buy Goldilocks in America at certain places, and you can buy Red Ribbon at like where some Jollibees have a Red Ribbon close. The one in Texas does not. The one in Dallas does not. The one in Houston, Texas has a Jollibee, and a couple of them, but they also have a Red Ribbon. So, and we bought stuff there years ago, and it was good. All right, Pat, I appreciate that, because I like sloppy joes and I really like tacos. I don't like my taco meat. I think I make really shitty taco meat, and I haven't figured out how to make it better. So maybe that will work. The red velvet cake, oh yes, is the bomb. It is. The red ribbon's great. I mean, the red velvet's great. The chocolate one with the strawberry cherries and all that, that's one of the ones we got a lot. But the mangoes ones, I'm a huge mango fan. Even the ubi, which I like ubi, right? I really do. But for me, a little bit of ubi goes a long ways. So I don't want a 20-pound ubi cake, versus a 20-pound chocolate cake. I would take, like it. Thinking of ubi, I had an ubi pie at Jollibee in Texas, right? And it was good, but I could tell it was all artificial. In the Philippines, a lot of times when you buy ubi stuff, it's actually the real root, right? Here, you could just tell it was cornstarch flavored, is all that was. That's good, because I can't do hot sauce. We were at Jollibee, and my freaking wife, she had to get the spicy chicken, and the first day we went there twice in the same weekend. So when we first went there, I just ordered the beef steak because I really liked the beef steak, and she ordered the spicy chicken. So she finally talked me into having a little bit of the spicy chicken. Holy smoking butt farts! I thought I was gonna freaking die. That shit in Texas is so freaking spicy. My God. I really did. I thought I was gonna die. I thought she brought me to Jollibee to kill me. That's what I mean. It's good, but it goes a long ways, right? I mean, I don't want a lot of ubi. You can use any kind. Well, that's good, because I'm a wuss. It's like when we were down by the lake at my brother's house over the weekend. We got up early and we went and got breakfast burritos for everybody to eat, because we're going out on the boat. And we stopped by this little mom and pop convenience store on the corner that has a little kitchen in it. And that's where he gets his breakfast burritos. And the girl was asking, she asked, oh, do you want any hot sauce? And I'm like, well, how hot is your weakest hot sauce? And she's like, oh, we got one for people that can't handle heat, so I'll get that to you. And I'm like, okay. You don't have to point it out with your fingers saying you pussy. I think it felt like she was calling me a pussy for wanting the mild hot sauce. You know, like, yeah, all right, I got something you can have. You know, you baby, you know. But the breakfast burritos were really good. They were all fresh. I mean, they were dicing the onions and the peppers. I mean, everything right there. Ba 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 ba. I mean, the eggs, the meat. I mean, it was all fresh stuff. It was a really good breakfast burrito. I will tell them that. Really good. I mean, it was all completely just right then and there. Chop, 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 chop. You know, nice. Nicely done. And they were only like $4. And they were big. They were the big burritos. I mean, big burritos, $4 each. Really big burritos. So we got everybody breakfast burritos. Pat, if you came in late and you didn't hear, my lips are sunburned. I'm going to be looking weird in a few days because my lips are going to peel off, you know, because they got somehow the only part of me that got sunburned was my freaking lips. I don't know how my legs didn't get sunburned. My head didn't. I was wearing a hat. My arms aren't sunburned. My hands aren't. It's my freaking lips. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but we had a good time in Texas. We're looking forward to our next trip. We don't know where we're going next, but I'm already looking forward to it. Even though I was exhausted driving, because I did all the driving. And we had to go an hour and a half out of our way to go back to Jollibee. And then we kind of got lost. So we had to go an hour and a half south for our friends to have Jollibee. And we're okay with that because they're really good friends. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not bitching about that. So I drove an hour and a half to Plano, got the Jollibee, then I have to drive all the way home, which is a 5-hour drive. Oh my, I have to go. See y'all later. Eddie, appreciate you. Good to see you again. Hang in there and we look forward to talking to you in the future. Say hello to your wife. My wife, if she was here, would say hello to your wife. So good to have you here, Eddie. Yeah, I think we did, but we kind of, we got to reminisce a little bit when we went to my niece's horse ranch, right? I'm going to call it a horse ranch because she's a professional horse trainer and horse rider. And I haven't seen these around here in years. I don't know why they're not around here, or maybe I just don't go where they're at. But do you guys remember those really large flying grasshoppers? I went to their place and they got fields, of course, on their land, right? And all these gigantic grasshoppers are just flying around. And I'm like, wow. That takes me back to my childhood when we were so poor we couldn't buy bait. So we would go out in the fields and collect all the grasshoppers we could and use them for fish bait. And my brother and I were there together, and his daughter was kind of, I said, man, look at all these grasshoppers. What great fishing bait. She's like, oh, you can have them all you want. All you want. I'm like, well, yeah, but we're not fishing now. But I told her, I said, no, what you don't understand is your dad and I were so poor, this was our fish bait. We'd go collect up all these grasshoppers and go fishing with them. And so it was a good thing to remember how we fished as little kids with no money. I have a good night, everybody. Thank you, Eddie Finn. We appreciate you. Hope you were safe driving home, and we appreciate you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Pat says take care. You guys all be safe in your part of the country. I did see where you were saltwater fishing the other day, but I didn't get a chance to review it. So, appreciate you. Jesus King D is stopping in to say hello to everybody. Everybody said hello back. But it was nice. It was good my brother and I shot pool. We get a little competitive. So that was kind of fun. We wore the girls out shooting pool, So wore them out shooting pool, then we took over and I hadn't shot pool in 15 years. Yeah. I mean, Pat, I know, Pat. He's all right. He gets it in event. Yeah, crickets or whatever you could dig up, man. I remember when we were little kids, my uncle was a bass fisherman. He had a big boat, He was a dickhead, but he used to take me fishing. My uncle. I'll tell you a story. He used to take me fishing, right? Probably because my grandmother made him. You know, you need to take that fat nephew of yours fishing, and he sits all home alone. Whatever. He probably felt bad, so he had to take me fishing. And so I would go fishing with him once in a while, but we were bass fishing, and I caught a really large bass, probably I don't know, 5 pounds back in the day here. And after I caught a bigger fish than him, he never took me fishing again. So, but that's okay. But we loved to fish growing up. We fished a lot. So that was good to think, man, I'm just sitting looking at all these grasshoppers flying. God, if I was a kid, this is like a kid in a candy store. I collect all these grasshoppers and I'd be fishing, you know. No, he just mistyped Pat. He put Path, P-A-T-H, as your name versus P-A-T. He just did a typo, Pat, that's all. So, but it was nice. You know, well, I did shoot pool. I told him the last time I shot pool was probably 5 years ago when we were on a cruise ship. And have you ever tried to play pool on a cruise ship? It doesn't work so well. But other than that, I hadn't shot pool in 15 years. So I was quite rusty, but, I had to get the competitive juices flowing. So we had, so it was a good time. It was a good time. I don't know what trip we're going to take next, but we need to take more trips. So, but yeah, we didn't catch any fish. The bad thing was we got to the lake. The marina by where my brother lives doesn't open up until 9 a.m. So you can't, and we don't have a boat, so we had to rent a boat, right? So you had to wait until 9 a.m. Well, fishing's over by 9 a.m. It's starting to wind down because you only get about 2 to 3 hours in the mornings and the evenings where the fish are active. Then they go dormant. So we get the boat. My wife and I, and my niece and them had to get their fishing license, Texas license. My brother already had his. So at the marina where we got the boat, we also had to get our license. Well, their computer was down. The girl couldn't get the system to work. So we wasted time there. And then we took the boat over to the marina across the lake. And that took them an hour and 15 minutes to get us fishing license for a 1-day pass. So that ate up most of the morning, our fishing time. So we didn't actually start fishing until almost 11 o'clock. And we had to have the boat back by 1 o'clock. So, but at least we got to drive around the lake. As you guys can see some of the video that we did, the marina coming in. Lorelai got to drive the boat and have some fun. And, it was a good time. It was a good time. So that's all that matters, even if you don't catch any fish. We're having a big party this weekend, everybody. You guys are all welcome. I think we're going to have fish. We caught a whole lot of fish down in Alabama that we brought back, so we're going to cook up a bunch of that fish this weekend. And then we're going to make some hamburgers and some ribs and stuff, and everybody's bringing food. So if anybody wants to come over and eat, you're welcome to come over and eat with us. But yeah, it's kind of what's going on. But we had a good time. We had a good time at Jollibee, even though it was dirty. I do wish we had a Red Ribbon close. I wouldn't mind going and getting some dessert, even though I'm not supposed to have dessert anymore. I'm supposed to be laying off the sugar, which I'm doing. I'm doing the best I can. But if you can, but man, one of those cakes from Red Ribbon or Goldilocks sounds really good now. After being to Jollibee, it kind of makes you think about, man, all the time you spent in the Philippines and how much you enjoy that, the food, the desserts. So it's kind of like, man, I wish I could have that now. I really, really, really do. So we'll have to figure out something. Maybe we'll have to go down to Houston, Texas, and one of these for our. I don't want to go to Houston. Maybe Tate Sanders can bring it up for me. So, or I can have James ship me a cake from California at Seafood City, because there's a red ribbon there. All right, Tim, you're off to the gym. Tim, time for the gym. We appreciate you, buddy. Stay healthy, and we'll talk to you here soon. So thank you for coming in and supporting us, Tim. We appreciate that. We do. Man, I'm having a lot of problems with my voice lately, believe it or not. I'm starting to the health issues. I'll tell you guys, some of the health issues that I had leading up to the coma, what partly led me into going into a coma, are just starting to come back. So that has me a little bit alarmed. My body is showing signs of pre-coma health, and I'm not liking that. Not liking it at all. Part of the problem is I have a deficiency where I can't process vitamin D, sunlight. It's called porphyria tarda cantarda. And what that does, it's a vampire disease. If you ever heard of another word or term for it, is the vampire disease. You know, sunlight, you're allergic to sunlight. And I'm technically allergic to sunlight. I just refuse not to go into sunlight. Maybe that's when my lips are acting up. But I noticed the last 2 weeks, what happens is this. If you're allergic to the sun, like I am, and many others, and if you go out in the sun, your body doesn't process vitamin D correctly, and it causes blisters to pop up on your skin. That's what it does. And mine was horribly bad before the coma. And what I've seen in the last 2 weeks, I'm starting to develop blisters once in a while. And they just randomly pop up. You know, boom. Might be one here. You know, one there, one here, one there. They just randomly pop up. So when these blisters start to develop, when you have this disease, it means that your blood is getting over-contaminated again. Pat says, the cake I don't like is, I don't like sponge cake either. I don't do sponge cake. Yeah, sponge cake sucks. I think it's good. When I was a kid, they used to make us eat it with, I don't remember what we ate it with, but I didn't like it. So yeah, I literally will, before I went into a coma, I probably had over thousands of blisters. I get them on my toes, my hands, my arms, my head, everywhere. So, but what that means is my blood is going in a direction we don't want it to go in. So that's bad for me. There's nothing you can do about it because insurance won't. Well, the only thing you can do, and we're not to that point yet, of course, but it's like before I went into the coma, what they talked about was I needed to have my blood transfused. I needed new blood and get rid of the old contaminated blood. There is no way to clean up the old blood, the existing blood. What happened was, when I was in the coma, everything was so bad that I wind up having a blood transfusion in the coma. So by virtue of that, I got new blood. And they estimated that it would probably last me 10 to 12 years before it would be contaminated again, clogged up again. And so here I am, we're at about year 10. We're about year 10, and I can tell it's starting to come back. So, Betty Crocker? Yeah, we've had the Betty Crocker. We've had all of them. I think Betty Crocker is just as good as any of them. I don't think there's a huge difference, to be honest, between the cake mix that's really expensive, you know, $3, $4, versus one that's $1.99. I don't see there's a lot of a difference. Adam's in the house. Hello, Adam. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. So, how are you? Where are you from? What's going on in your world, Adam? Everybody say hello to Adam. So we're at this point now, medically, where my blood is no bueno, no good anymore. It's going bad. It's good to see you too, buddy. And how are you? How are you? What part of the world you in these days? All that good stuff. So I know everybody that you know, my voice is having problems. My blood is having problems. I'll tell you guys, man. I even passed kidney stones the other day, which is another big sign that I'm headed back towards the way I was before the coma. So the health conditions I was in before the coma, and I got to change out my pacemaker this year. So I need to get to the doctor here soon and start saying, look, we got to figure out how to keep me from getting so bad that I wind up in a coma again. So South Carolina, we love South Carolina. We have been good. We're in Arkansas, if you didn't know, currently. Wife's from the Philippines. We just got back from Dallas, Texas. I got family there, so we went down to northern Dallas, Texas, and hung out for the weekend and had a good time, went boating and all that. But we've been to South Carolina and North Carolina. I have relatives that live outside of Raleigh, North Carolina, outside of it, a ways out in the country. And they love it. We we thought long and hard about living and moving to Myrtle Beach. The only reason we didn't go to Myrtle Beach was I don't like the cold weather, and I know that it gets cold during the winter there, so and I don't like that. Well, I had I've had kidney failure, complete kidney failure. My kidneys shut down, and that's partly why I went into septic shock and went into the coma and died and all that crap. So, so I had kidneys so large and so much inside the kidneys, and getting caught in the tube that comes down, that it really screwed me up. Oh, you like in the Northern Carolina better? Wow. Is that because of like the Research Triangle and all of the big city vibe versus South Carolina? So back then, before I went in the coma, we were dealing with kidney stones. Yeah. And when I came out of the coma, they had to put tubes in my kidneys to enlarge everything to try to get all these or to allow me to pee, I guess, or so I wouldn't die. That's what they had to do when I was in the coma. Then after I got well enough after the coma, I actually had to go in and have both kidneys blasted. And I can't remember what they call it, hypersonic or whatever blasting operation, and destroy all these kidneys that had affected my kidneys. And so for about a week or two, I was pissing out kidney stones and particles left and right, left and right, left and right. So, but yeah, I just passed some the other day, so I need to make sure my doctor knows, hey, there's some things going on that are signs of me not doing well, you know. So we need to see if there's anything that can be done to prevent me from going too deep down in the bad health hole, because I don't want to die. I don't mind dying. I just don't want to go into a coma again. So, hey, so that's what we've been doing, everybody. North Carolina's nice. We were out there. Um, I can't remember. Adam, if you're still here, let me ask you this. Which state is Coastal Carolina in? I can't remember which state Coastal Carolina. I think I can't remember their mascot now, but Coastal Carolina, they actually offered me a job years ago, and I turned it down, but they offered me a teaching job there. But I can't remember if it was in North Carolina or South Carolina. But I looked at the school really hard thinking, yeah, maybe. But ultimately I chose not to take the faculty job there. So it's in South Carolina. Okay. I couldn't remember where it was. And I think their colors are purple, right? Or something like that. Coastal Carolina. They offered, they had something going on where they were going to be developing some things. And they wanted to develop some programs. And they needed somebody with my skill set to come in and work in the program and blah, 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 blah. But, I probably should have took it, but I didn't. Oh, yeah. Pat's asking and saying every time I have surgery, they got to stick a catheter in. Oh, yeah. I've had a lot of catheters. And I'll tell you, man, the real question is, have you ever been awake when they take the catheter out? That's the question. Have you ever been awake when they take it out? It's not a pleasant feeling. And one of the times, you got to remember, I had catheters. I probably had so many, I can't tell you how many times I've had surgeries. But one time, I was awake in recovery, later in recovery, and they had what I want to call it, like a student. And they were, and I'm big on this. I don't mind having students work on me and help out. I like that. Practical training, don't mind it. But this girl didn't get the balloon completely deflated. And she was trying to pull it out. And she didn't know that it was not all the way deflated or all the way open. And it was hurting like a mother. Holy crap. It was like somebody driving a Mack truck through my hand, man. It was one of the most painful things. And luckily her teacher, whatever the person was, the clinical rep, was like, let's wait a minute. And they slid it back in and deflated it more and it came out. But oh, smoking butt farts. I felt that pain for months and months. I felt that pain for longer than you could imagine. I still remember that because and I'm like, oh my God. It's like driving a semi truck through your bedroom window, Yep, it's not, brother. Yeah, it's not fun. I know. No, yes. And I've had it taken out when I've been awake before, and a lot of them's done pretty good. Yes. Oh my God. Many times don't like it, but what are you gonna do? The good news is when I have my pacemaker changed in a few months, they'll just, I gotta figure that out. They would just cut it out. They just give you they put you under, but you're in and out. It's an outpatient surgery. So you go down, probably a whole time period's about 3 hours. They put you under, they change it out, they make sure it's all regulated and set up, sew you back up, and they kick you out in a few hours. So the pacemaker thing has to be squared away. Now that's the problem I just realized. I was telling Lorelai today, I can't tell you some news that we got that's going to affect some things we do next year yet. But needless to say, I was looking at changing a vacation to September, because that's when our wedding anniversary is, September, right? And we've done a bunch of cruises on September, and so I thought about booking as a cruise in September, because we can't go next spring now. And now I just realized, thanks to you, Pat, that I have to have this out, I think, in September. So I need to figure this out. I need to figure this out before I book a cruise. Oh, yeah, yeah. But yeah, but the bad news for me, Pat, and everybody that's listening, which I appreciate, is I can tell the starting to develop some health issues, gentlemen, and guys, girls, everybody listening. I can tell things aren't going well for me. So I'm going to have to be addressing and see what can be done, if anything. But yeah, I don't know. Not too excited about that. And having a lot of problems with my vocal cords, a lot of problems with my legs. My legs are way worse now, which is the same way before I went into the coma. You know, I mean, I had blisters everywhere. I couldn't piss. I was getting all kinds of infections. All of those things started down that road. So now I got to be really careful about that and see how things are going to go. So, Pat, I forgot to ask, how are things going with your lady friends? Damn bug. Things going good with the lady friends? I know there's a new, not a new, somebody we know now is a Filipino that we all know is now currently single, you know, single and probably looking to see if they can, find the right person. So she sent me a message earlier telling me that she was single. So now have you been communicating with both of them or just one of them? Because, there's nothing wrong with you chit chatting with both of the girls. I don't think. Of course, right. That's good. I think you just got to follow your heart and your gut, and whichever is meant to be will be. If the younger one is winds up being her, that's great. If the other one winds up being her, that's great. Talking to a few of them, wow, you player. Pat's a player, man. That's good. The real key is there one that you feel like you can start moving forward with? Two, is there one of them that feels like that they want to move forward with you? I mean, that's one of the most important things I tell everybody is, look, here's what we want as men dating foreign women. We want to go with the girl that wants us the most, not our money, but us. And the good thing, Pat, is it's not like you and I are wealthy people, right? It's not like we're sitting in mansions and these girls can see this, right? It's not like they know that who we are just basic Americans, right? So they're more than likely not after you for your money. That's how I see it with my situation. So, so talking to a bunch of them, but I tell guys all the time. My advice is, look, at our age, and if you're ready to be married, it's what I tell. Look, if you find one that really wants to be with you and you click together, you get along, you like each other, you think you can enjoy spending time together, then damn, don't waste time. Move forward. We, I like the Lorelei twin. That's good. If that's one that works for you, I know she's older, closer to your age, so that might be better. Don't know. The younger one is cuter, but she has more baggage in a sense. So you got to decide what you want and just go with it. So we personally know the young one, right? We know that. So we know that where she comes from. We know all that. So we would side with the younger one just because we know that person, but for no other reason. So we definitely would want you to go with the one that you feel the most connected with. But there's no reason for you guys out there to waste time. Why are you wasting time? And I know it takes time. I know that. And that's not what I mean. But I'm really big at our age and, our part in life, if you're ready. It's like Ken, who was in here earlier. Him and Maureen, they've been together years. He's getting ready to retire, going to go live there. He has no hesitations. We're all that way, We all get to that point. Us men who don't want to date American girls anymore. We don't want to put up with that bullshit. We're ready to settle down, right? So I tell them all the time when the right one comes along, don't worry about whether there's a different one who may be righter, who may be a better fit. What's wrong with having somebody who's a really good fit versus a perfect fit? When if all we're focused on is this girl has to be a perfect fit for me, meaning looks, body, whatever our priorities are, and most of us think about looks and body first. Come on, but, you know, I hate to equate it to like cars, but, you know, do if you pass up buying a really good car in hopes of finding an even better one down the road, you may be sitting there without a car for a very long time. And you may have passed up the car that has turned out to be the best car that you ever owned. So I tell people all the time, and I know you're not doing this, Pat, but just for argument's sake out there with all of us, quit looking here, look here. When you do this, look here. Don't worry about over here and over there. And just keep going down this road. And if the road becomes smoother and smoother and smoother, don't deviate from the road. Because it's like, man, I already got a really good car. Would I like to have, look, I got an old Dodge pickup truck in my driveway. I hardly drive it. Dodge Dakota, 4-wheel drive, has everything anybody could want for a truck. It's heavy duty. It's fine. Tow's fine, everything. Would I like to have a brand new GMC Colorado, Denali, or whatever they call their fancy highest end Colorado pickup truck from GMC? Yeah, I really would. Really would. But I may buy that and wind up hating it because it becomes a piece of shit when my old Dodge out in the driveway runs fine, drives fine, does everything I needed to do, and I'm not putting any more money into it. If I go out there and just keep shopping and shopping, you may wind up being disappointed, and I know you know this. I tell my good friend James Robinson this all the time. To be happy, we got to fish in our own pond, and I know you know this. And so, but I tell him all the time that we got to fish in our own pond. And we truly need to be with the one that wants to be with us. If the girl wants to be with you, that's more than half the battle. It really is. I gave some serious relationship advice this weekend because a lot of you guys probably don't know I give a lot of relationship advice. And I do it privately and secretly. And it's extremely important that, and I'm going to say this again on this live stream, if you can't make it happen, and I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but if you can't make it happen in about a year, you need to move on. She needs to move on and find somebody that can make it happen. You got to make sure that somebody's truthful and honest. And I tell Filipinos all the time, the best way to know this is, one, watch how people behave on live streams. Watch how they behave interacting with other people, their Facebook pages, all this other crap. So if we're good people, it's like me. I'm not a good guy or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when I was dating Lorelai, I opened up everything. Like, here's my Facebook page. Here's what I do. Here's where I work. Here's. There's no secrets. And she did the same. And I could verify what she told me, right? And I could verify what she told me. I could verify what she said, and she could verify what I said. That's what we did. It. We didn't, because we knew pretty quickly, hey, we're going to go down this road. So we needed to go down this road and make sure everybody gets it. And that's what we did. And I think that's the best advice. If a person cannot be 100% open and honest with you about all of it, and I mean honest, not just tell you what you want to hear, whether it's male or female, then that's a bad thing. And that's why I tell a lot of guys, there's a lot of guys out here. I talked to one the other day that I know who's in one of those FLDRs, fake long distance relationships, where they've been together, I don't know, 20 years and or 2 years, I can't remember what it was. But the reality of it is he's never going to be able to make the relationship happen. And if you can't do that, and if you're playing these games, then quit, because it's not right to the Filipinas. You know, they're good people. It's not right for, and I would encourage all of us men to tell the other men, don't be playing these women. If you truly don't have an interest in being married, going over there, making it happen, then leave them alone and let them find somebody who wants them, who will go through the process of making it happen. We as men, and there's a lot of us men out there that are not good men. And look, I'm not a good man either. I get it. So, but as somebody who's not a good man, I can tell you guys, if you guys are listening, if you watch this, and I've told this thousands of times, but after this weekend, I want to say it again. Don't play these women. Leave them alone. If you can't go from A to Z, mind your business. Quit trying to make yourself feel good by having these, I don't want to call them desperate, but women who would very much like to be married and be married to a foreigner. Quit jerking their chains. Don't jerk their chains. You're right, Pat. It is not right to the Filipina. And if we're decent human beings, we would recognize that. And the coin goes both ways. The Filipinas out there that are hustling the men, well, they shouldn't do it either. But I will say, it's more on us not to get hustled, right? Fool me once, shame on me. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? As men, we need to take the responsibility and say, look, I'm not going to hustle you, and or I'm not going to be hustled. And if I am being hustled, then I'm going to allow it to happen, because I'm the man in this relationship. I'm the adult. It is my life that we're talking about. So if I want to, and I don't like this, but as a guy, if I wanted to give money to a Filipina because she flirted with me on a live stream, well, that's my business. Fine, whatever. But I think to promise women who are looking for a way out of a bad situation, who are good people, good-hearted people, a false promise, a false narrative is very shameful for us men. We shouldn't do it. And look, I had plenty of opportunities before I met Lorelei. Remember, I've been around the community since I was 18. I always had somebody saying, hey, I have an aunt, I have a niece, I have a sister that you could meet in the Philippines. I'm like, yeah, and they're all good looking, right? So, yeah, no. Because I didn't want to jerk their chain, because I had no desire to marry somebody from the Philippines or travel to the Philippines, which is what you have to do, until I met Lorelei, right? So we, as men, sometimes have to get out of our own egos, out of our own bullshit, and be honest with who we are and what we are and how we do things. And if you can't be, and I know guys like this, and it blows my mind. My brother and I were talking about this this weekend. Is why I'm talking about it. Because him and I were talking about people that we knew, people we grew up with, family members, extended family members, because we hadn't hung out in quite a while, right? And the bullshitters, the con artists, the hustlers, and the mentally ill, and a lot of these guys, which is what him and I talked about, is because he does mentoring himself to a different group of men, but he mentors men. But there are a lot of these guys that believes their own bullshit. They believe their own history that they made up because maybe they don't want to admit to that they're nobody, but or they haven't done anything, or they think, and this is the psychology behind this. A lot of guys lie about who they are and what they can do because they think people would be non-interested in who they really are. So they think, oh, well, you won't like me for me, so I'm going to make up a story about who I am because that might be the person you like. But one, that's a lie, correct? Two, that's the wrong way to go it. If you got to mislead, misinform, lie to somebody to get them to like you or to have anything to do with you, then do you really want that person to be around you? Because that person's only doing it because of not who you are, but who you tell them you are. So you're making them like somebody that you're not. So what's going to happen if you ever did meet them or get married? Life is, it's not fair. Now all of a sudden the person realized, oh yeah, you really are drunk. Oh yeah. Oh no, I see. You filed bankruptcy multiple times. Oh, you actually have a felony? Oh, you've lied about this. You've lied about, oh shit. That's not a good way for us men to behave. It's just not. Yes, a lot of women behave badly, but I'm not a woman. I can't speak for them. All I can do is speak for men and try to get us men to agree to do better, to be better. That's all I can do, is try to get you guys. And I know I'm preaching to Pat. Pat's a good guy. But my point is, we got to be better, do better. That's it. And when you get married and you bring them over here to America, you got to treat them like human beings, not slaves. We have a lot of couples that we know in our circle, and a lot of them will be here for the party this weekend. And there are guys that truly think their wife is their commodity. Well, I got her from the Philippines. Her job is to make me happy and have kids and do what I want. It's not like she's her own individual. So I know this, and I see guys like this. The women are and they take advantage of the culture. And as you guys all know, in Asia, a lot of the Asian cultures, the women believe in being subservient. It's okay. We are the leader of the family, the men, right? So a lot of the men take advantage of that. And they drive the woman further down because it's already their nature to yield to us men, right? To yield the leadership of the house to the man. Well, a good man understands that and works with it and tries to elevate their woman. A lot of the men I know and have known over the years, they come in and they drive that woman even further down to exhibit their control over it. Happens all the time. And it's shameful. We shouldn't do that. Now, I think there's a happy balance between overpowering women that are not used to America and all of that. You got to take it very slow and easy because it can be a very horrible transitional period when they come here. So there's a lot that can be done on that end. But the biggest thing I see that I really don't like is these men dragging on these fake relationships, fake LDRs, FLDRs, fake long distance relationships. They drag them on, they stroll them on, they make the girl think something, they lie. And one thing I'll say about this, Pat, that's come up lately, for me, and I don't like, I've noticed over the last year that I've had men participate in my channel to try to convince other people that they're more than what they say they are. So I've had men use my platform, my channel, my live streams to say, this is who I am when it's a lie. And I've been finding this more and more. And the other thing they kind of do, or they do, Pat, and everybody listening, which I appreciate, and thumbs up and all that, is they're using the credibility that they get on this live stream. Like Johnny Smith comes in, we get to know him, he tells us what he is. You know, like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. All right, great. Nice to meet you, Johnny Smith. Happy to have you here, you know. Yeah, I'm dating and looking for a Filipina. Yeah, all this good stuff. And then what I found that they have done is they actually go out and tell girls from the Philippines, well, you know I'm not lying because David of the Adventures of the Philippine Couple know me. They are lying or misrepresenting the fact that I know them. And I've seen this in the last year. They've literally gone out and said, hey, young pretty girl, sure, you can trust me because David over at the Adventures of Philippine America, he knows me and I'm on his social media all the time. You know, blah, blah. But they're lying to the girl and they're lying to me and they're lying to you. It's all right, Pat. And but they're misrepresenting themselves to the Filipinas, and they're trying to gain support or back that up by saying, just ask David. David knows who I am. David knows that I'm really this, that I really make $100 million a year, that I fly private jets. He really knows this, you know. And then I have these ladies over the last year, 18 months, reach out to me and say, hi, I'm sorry to bother you, but Johnny Smith is somebody I've been talking to from America. And I know on your channel, you guys always say if you have any questions to ask. And they would ask me, and they've asked me, and this is, you know, happening more and more and more frequently. Well, do you know Johnny Smith? And I had to tell them, say, well, no, not really. I've never FaceTimed him like I have Pat or James or visited with them one-on-one or anything like this. I don't know them like that. I know they come to my live stream, and they would ask me, well, that person told me that they fly jets for a living. Do you think that's true? And one of my things is always, well, do you think it's true? Because obviously you don't, because you're asking me the question. If you have to ask somebody, do you think that's true, then there's doubt already in you. And I would tell them, I said, well, one, do you think it's true that they fly jet planes? That's the big question. Personally, no, I don't think they fly jet planes. Do I, you know, do they have a do they have a job in law enforcement? Whatever it is, I don't know. Whatever this bullshit is that these guys are telling these girls, because I have more and more girls reaching out to Lorelai and I. You know, this person says that they live in this type of house, that they have a 3,000 square foot house, they own 10 acres of land. I'm like, well, I don't know, but I can Google it. You know, and because a lot of these girls don't understand what our houses and our properties are like in America. So some guys out there going, yeah, I got 10 acres and I own a farm and I own a ranch or I own water, a house on a water. What are these? Yeah, I got a big house and, you know, we can bring your mom and dad over and your brothers and sisters and we can do all this. And so I've had them reach out to me the last year and a half. And I haven't said a lot about this until tonight, Pat, or anybody else. But I've had them reach out to me. And so I've done some internet looking and said, no, here's where they live. They live in an apartment, you know. No, they don't have a lake house. You know, they don't have 10 acres and a farm and a horse ranch or whatever bullshit they're telling you. Well, Pat, we appreciate you too, Pat. You know, we enjoy you. We appreciate you helping us grow our channel and all that good stuff. So, we appreciate all of that, and we know you always give us thumbs up and support. But I found it interesting here lately that this topic is coming up more frequent for me, more frequent where I'm having Filipinos reach out and going, I'm supposed to be engaged. I'm supposed to be the girlfriend of this guy. I'm supposed to be this. Can you help me out because I think something's not right? Galactic Gaming's in the house. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. What are you up to, man? What's happening? I'm solving all the problems of the world, or at least I'm running my mouth trying. So good to see you, buddy. Did you say are you coming to Orlando this year? Are you coming to America this year? So I'm going to do more videos, or more of my talks I'm going to touch on this subject more and more, Pat, when we have a larger group. Like earlier, I should have done it earlier, but I want to start throwing this topic out there about taking responsibility and not pulling this bullshit that some of these guys are pulling. So, you're like a brother to me, a good mentor. I try to be a good mentor, and I appreciate that, Pat. I try to be a mentor to everybody, even Galactic Gaming. So, but it's I don't know if it's because, maybe we've been doing this a long time. Our channel's grown a little bit. More people feel more comfortable reaching out to us. But we're definitely seeing more and more Filipinos asking me, hey, is this guy for real? He's told me this. Does that make sense? Because you live in America. You know America. He says he knows you. He says that you personally can vouch for him. And I'm like, well, wait, who is it? I could vouch for Pat. I could vouch for Galactic Gaming. So, I could vouch for a lot of people. But, and a lot of these guys, and I'm going to throw this out there, is look, a lot of guys miss the mark. A lot of guys are out there saying, hey, David can vouch for me. Well, what they don't realize is David tells the truth. He's going to tell these girls exactly what he thinks. And if he thinks Johnny Smith is full of horse shit, he's going to tell these girls that he thinks Johnny Smith is full of horse shit. So, all of you men out there who may catch on to this, you may not want to use me as a personal reference unless you know that I respect you and I truly do know and understand who you are. Because I'm going to tell the girls who you really are, period. And that's it. And that's why, Pat, we don't mind recommending you. There's a lot of guys I would never recommend to date somebody. And Galactic's a good guy. I would recommend him to date somebody. But there's a lot of these guys running out there I'm finding in the last, months, 18 months, saying, yeah, David will vouch for me. David will vouch for me. From Philippines, American couple, that guy David and Lorelai, they vouch for me. Like, well, no. We have a heat wave over here. It's so hot. How's it going there? Well, we're waiting on storms. Buddy, it's supposed to storm tonight again. We just got back from Dallas, Texas. We went down and had some fun, and now I'm back. My lips are sunburned. Let's do it. My lips are sunburned. Let's do it, Maria. Nice. Added. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for joining us. How are you? Tell us a little bit about you. Do you have a YouTube channel, which I'm sure you do? Tell me a little bit about you. Storms suck. Yeah, we got storms. It was hot as hell in Dallas, Texas, though. 100 degrees, pushing 100. It was pretty warm. But we're back in Arkansas, and it's in the mid-80s today. That's a high, maybe 88, 89. But we definitely got storms coming, Bay. And everybody say hello to Let's Do Maria, please. Pat, say hello to Let's Do Maria. And Maria, I'm going to double check and check out your YouTube channel a little bit later. So Filipina Bye in the house. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, young lady. You know, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the thumbs up. I saw you had a live stream earlier. How'd your live stream go? Everybody say hello to young Miss Bye. So, yeah, I was giving relationship advice earlier. Pat and I were talking about relationships and how men should do better and not be full of shit and all that stuff. I don't know if you caught any of that, young Bye. I was telling because Pat is interested in dating and he's got a couple girls he's talking to and kind of taking it slow but moving forward. So we kind of got talking about relationships. Let's do Maria says, I am in, what, are you in the Philippines? Let's see if I can find your, for some reason I'm on my phone so I can't pull up your channel very easily. All right, let's see. Let's do Maria. Let's look at your channel. Yes, hi Pat, good. You got 2,000, over 2,000 subscribers, 65 videos, so we will definitely subscribe to you. I'm on, I just subscribed one of my accounts to you. I will go and subscribe my main account to you. And if you're not friends with Filipina Bye, please do that. You girls need to connect with each other. Non-spicy kimchi Korean appetizer. I don't know about that one. Maria, I don't know if I can't do kimchi. We love Korean food though. I can't. Oh, you're doing some golf, I see. How to make sausage, egg, bread, Korean street food. Nice. We really do love Korean food. A lot. Let's see. I'm checking your YouTube channel out while we talk, by the way. Cooking some Wagyu beef. Ooh wee. So, are you a professional golfer? Maria looks like she's a professional golfer. Very nice. A lot of golfing, a lot of cooking. You guys definitely go subscribe to her channel. Mango banana yogurt smoothie. Nice. You finally got it reactivated. Well, can you briefly tell us what happened? Did you get hacked or did you get demonetized or, I like to, and why I ask, because I think it's a great opportunity for everybody else who does YouTube to understand some of the problems and challenges. So maybe somebody can learn from what happened to you, or maybe you just didn't have time to do with it, to work with it. You got a bunch of shorts and some live streams. Well, we've subscribed, Fishing with Pack, subscribe to you. And my regular channel will subscribe to you too, all right? Pat will go to your channel and he'll probably look at it and go, ooh, what a very pretty young lady. Violated policy. Okay. Pat saying, I subscribe to your channel there, Maria. Can I ask, if you don't mind, how did you get violated? What was the violation or what, I'm always just curious. If you don't want to say, you don't have to or anything. Because I've been lucky enough, I get some copyright stuff, but none of it strikes me bad or anything. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, they don't like that. I tried that once, not golf. Yeah. I got basically, what do you call a cease and desist? I was video recording something off of the TV, doing a live stream, and YouTube did not like that. They ended my live stream right in the middle of me speaking. They absolutely did not like me showing something on YouTube from TV. I didn't get punished. I just got cut off. So, But we learn and live, right? We learn. Now I know that I can't do that. But it doesn't stop me from keep going and doing the best I can on my channel, because that's all we got to do. But yeah, if you haven't connected to Pat, do. Pat will connect to you. He did. Filipina Bai has a great YouTube channel there in the Philippines, so maybe you can connect with her. She's a nice person. All right. Well, Maria, if you don't, would you like to be blue? Would you like to be a moderator so you can drop your link? And here's what I do. For anybody who's blue that has a YouTube channel, or they want to share a new, you don't have to ask me permission. So all of my blue people, yeah, they operate as monitors to help out. But more importantly, what I say is, if you come into the channel and you got a link, if you're blue, and if you want to share something out, you can just go ahead and do it. You don't have to ask permission every time and say, hey, host, can I drop my link? You don't have to ask. You can just do it. Just do it. Are you a single? We got a lot of men looking for women. So even Galactic Gaming is always prowling around. So are you a single person? Are you living? So, So all those type of things helps. And sometimes we have really large live streams with lots of people. And sometimes we have small live streams, kind of like tonight. We're trying to grow our channel, and we do a lot of charity work in the Philippines. We do a lot of relationship, Maria, and we do a lot of everything. My wife does a lot of live streaming. Who's from Cebu, and she does a lot of videos. She has Facebook and all that stuff too. What I was saying is, if you're blue, you don't have to ask me permission anytime at any live stream if you want to come in and drop your link to your channel or a video. So most of the time people ask, hey, host, do you mind if I drop my link? If you're blue, I'm giving you permission to do it without asking me. There's no need to ask. That's what I mean. I find it easier just to say, if you're blue, feel free to drop a link. And my moderators, how I do that, if you feel like somebody needs to go into timeout, just let me know first. Or if I ask, that's the other big rule, as you know all this. But on our channel, we don't discriminate. We like everybody being here. We like all opinions. We can talk about anything and everything. We will all do our best to answer questions. The only things we don't do is any hate, any race hating, which, and we don't talk about kids in any weird ways at all. We don't tolerate any of that. And we won't tolerate any bullying. So just so you girls are all protected on my channel, I protect everybody's right, including yours, to speak freely and openly without being judged. And that's something that we hold very true and dear to our live streams and our channel, period. And Pat can tell you that. We don't let anybody pick on anybody. And if you do, I'll just kick your butt out. We won't tolerate that. And that's really important to us, because we want everybody to have a venue, a force, a platform to do what they want to do. So Mike and Venus is back. How are you, buddy? Hey, Mike, if you would subscribe to Let's Do It Maria's channel. She's new to us. If you don't know her, please befriend her. So I would appreciate that. Mike and Venus is one of our good people. So you can trust them. They're good people. You don't got to worry about them being bad. So, Mike, how are you, buddy? My lips are chapped. My lips are starting to go south from the sunburn. I got sunburned on the boat this weekend. My lips got sunburned. That's it. I don't know how you get your lips sunburned, but no other part of your body, but I did. Maybe I was kissing up to the sun too much. So, Pat says hello and good to see you, Mike. And Venus, yes. So that's what we do on this channel. If you want to match make a little bit, we're happy to do it. If you want relationship advice, we're happy to do it. If you want somebody who's going to give you the no bullshit meter, that's me. I always try to talk straight from the heart, and I try to be honest and truthful whether anybody likes it or not. But we all try to be helpful here. That's the really good thing about the community that we built, like Pat and Mike and Ken and everybody on and on, Tim. I can just go on and on and on. We don't have, I don't feel, very many, if any, bad actors, bad players, bad people, bad channels that comes around us. So that's a good thing. So, all right. But yeah, we're back from Dallas, Texas. Hey, Mike, if you're still back there, are you still coming back to America this summer, this year? Or are you going to wait another year before you get back here? You know, and Pat, if there's anything we can do for you with the women front, just let us know. Anything we can do. Same thing with Maria. Maria may be single. Are you a single lady, Maria, if you're still there? Single ladies. Isn't there a song called Single Ladies? Something about single ladies? Yes, yes, yes. All right. I can feel the atmosphere starting to shift. I can feel there's a change coming. So maybe we're going to be getting storms. Anything? Yes. I don't know, man. So, Mike, are you coming back to America this year? Or are you going to wait another year? You have a living partner. Good. Okay. Just asking. Because sometimes girls want to meet somebody. And if they do, I like to know so I can help if there's anything I can help with. But we have a lot of, Lorelai, my wife, has a lot of friends that have lifetime living partners and kids and all that. So, and we do a lot of stuff with them. So we're okay. We understand it. Now, if you want to kick your living partner out the door and find a better one, we understand. No. But we're happy to have you part of the group, Maria. You know, but we do have a lot of men who's curious. Someday I will return, not sure, maybe next month. All right. And then, of course, as you know, being a Filipina, you know other Filipinas, and you may want to network with somebody and help one of your friends meet somebody if that's what you're into and all that good stuff. So we wind up, to be honest, we do a lot of relationship advice and or counseling behind the scenes, not live, but behind the scenes. So that's why I ask. But we're good to have everybody here. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate all the views we get, you know, all the support we get. And we hope to just keep you guys entertained. Venus and I are living partners, but she still calls me an asshole. I mean, a husband. Sorry, I had to do that, Mike. I had to do that. I had to do that. Yeah, the asshole, the husband. I don't know what my wife calls me. I'm married, but I don't know what she calls me. I think it depends on what mood she's in. You know, I know if she calls me David, I'm in trouble. So, I know that much. And I know she knows that she's in trouble when I call her Lorelai. You know, Lorelai. So, but that's all right. That's part of it. But we travel, I don't know about you guys, but I actually like hanging out with my wife. I tell you people a lot that I really enjoy hanging out with my wife. She irritates me a lot, don't get me wrong. She's probably listening. So she irritates me a lot. But we actually do work together pretty well. And when we're in a situation where we get to just relax and have fun, we have a lot of fun together. We do. We have a lot of fun together. We had a lot of fun this weekend together. It is good because what else are you going to do, right? You know, my sister-in-law told us this weekend because we had somebody watching our dog Lily, right? And babysitting for us. And they wanted to come to the house to get Lily's ramp to get on the couch because I forgot to bring it. And so we have a camera inside the house, and we gave him the garage code to get into the house. And when he came in the house, I got a phone alert that he was here. And I already knew this, but he didn't know the camera's there. So Lorelai, I pull up the camera, and as he's walking in the house, I yell into the camera, "Hey, what are you doing? I'm calling 911." You know, and Lorelai's texting him, and my sister-in-law's like, "Man, you guys are like a bunch of little kids." I'm like, "Yeah." You know, let's do it. Yeah, as well. You have that's why you like Korean food so much. You call each other, I probably won't pronounce this right because I never pronounce anything right. Yibo? Am I even close? Yibo? I'll have to Google that and make sure I know how to pronounce it correctly. But that's probably why you like Korean food so much. Yobo. Yobo? Yo-bo? Is that closer? Yobo. I like that. I like that. That's kind of like in America. Hey, boy. So, yo, boy. Yeah, I can get that. Yeah, yobo. All right. But we do like Korean food too. The silent E. That's my problem with other languages. None of it is set up like the American English. You know, how to break things down, But that's why I have a smart wife. So you're both called that, male and female? Mike's asking if you live in Korea. We just went to the new Korean restaurant here the other day. It's a Korean fried chicken place. It's nothing like the Korean fried chicken we had living in the Philippines. It was way too sweet. I mean, way too sweet. It's like they dipped it in honey or something. Living in the Philippines. Yeah, Mike's in the Philippines. Pat's in America. I'm in America. We've lived in the Philippines, but we're in America now. Yeah, I actually grew up, believe it or not, with a Korean best friend. So I've been around the Korean community a long time. My best friend growing up was Korean, and his mom, who's like 89 years old now, I still see her on a regular basis. So I'm really kind of familiar with the Korean world. Mike says, I'm living in the Philippines, but I have an apartment in the U.S. Yes, you do. Why waste money on an apartment? Man, you need to put that money in your investments and, so you don't have to ever go back to work. Save that money. If we can help you with it, Mike, let me know. There's something if you need some phone calls made or something done here in America, just touch base with me and I'll try to help you out all I can. I mean, if you want me to call and cancel your lease, I don't know, whatever you need help with, I'll try to do my best. Maria says, yeah, Mike's playing your Plants in the Rain video. Oh, nice. Thank you, thank you. We're in the Philippines. Tenza, Cavite. Oh, very near, yes. You guys are neighbors. Maybe Mike and Venus can go and hang out with you guys and have some Korean food. I like Korean food. I like Japanese food the best, then Korean food. Thai food. They're all about the same. Thai, Korean, and are about equal. And then we go Filipino food, but Japanese food the best. Anytime, Mike. Wow, see? Nice. You guys can hook up, have lunch, have the wives and the husbands all meet each other. General Trez. All right. Yeah, Lorelai's from Cebu City, and my wife was from Cebu City, so. And say you guys are neighbors. See, Mike, you never know who you're going to meet on this channel, right? You never know who you're going to find. That's one really good thing about this world that we all live in. I've got to know so many really good people. Got to meet a whole lot of smart people. I've got to meet a whole bunch of shitty guys, shitty people. But for the most part, 90% are good people. You know, they're worth meeting. We've actually met about 10 or 15 of our followers in person over the years. So that's kind of cool when you get to meet up with another YouTuber or somebody that's been following you for a long time in person. So that's kind of a cool thing. Mike says, yes, very close. I drive through there many times. Nice. See? See? You guys need to connect with each other. I think Mike is on the verge of becoming monetized, aren't you? And I think Maria said that she had just got her channel reactivated, so she's probably going to get monetized again. Let's see. Yeah, she has 2,000 subscribers. My big goal, I'm trying really hard to get to 4,000 by, I don't know, August. I'm about 100 and something away from 4,000 subscribers. So I'm working really hard to get to 4,000. Mike says, very close. Okay, you renewed your visa, got that done. Did you make a video about that? Very close. I see in Robinson, yes. I miss Robinsons. Okay, how many hours? 300WH. So I can plan longer videos. Yes. So how many hours are you at? I know Mike said he got the 3,000 hours the other day. You got to have at least 3,000 hours. Okay, 3,000 watch hours. You got to maintain that, right? Is it 1,000 subscribers now and 1,000 watch hours, 3,000 watch hours? You guys can do it. Yeah, and that's one thing I tell people all the time. Look, if you got a little bit of time, why don't you take your tablet, find one of your friends' YouTube channel, go to their playlist, and just hit the playlist and let it run on your tablet or your smart TV. I do that for people all the time. I've done it for Mike. I go in and I'll just run a live stream. Helps someone get a view each and every time. And then I'll step in once in a while and make a comment and give a thumbs up. And then I just let it run and do the same thing over and over and over. And helps to build everybody. It helps me, it helps you, it helps everybody. Mike appreciates that. Yes, it's important. It's good. You got to maintain those hours. And you guys can both do it. Yeah, we do it on a lot of different channels. We get a lot of people say, ask, hey, I need some watch hours. I'm like, all right, well, here. I got some iPads that I don't use anymore, older iPads that are set up to run the internet on. And I literally just go boom, boom, boom. Or one of my old laptops And I'll clear out the browser history of it, go to their channel and just run, you know. Yeah, Venus and I use our phones when I love the laptop and play videos. Yep, that's it. Live. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's what we do. You know, we'll watch some of Maria's stuff a little bit later. All right, my friends, it's after 9:30 here. We've been on here at 145 minutes. So we've had a long weekend. You can tell my voice is shot. My lips are sunburned. I'm going to get off here so I can go and, man, and give it up for the night. Some of us are old. We did a lot of driving this weekend, had a lot of fun, a lot of walking, a lot of activity. So, and we got a big party to plan this weekend, everybody. You guys are all welcome to come here at 4 o'clock on Saturdays when it starts. We got to decorate the house. We got to prepare the food. We got to clean the house. So if anybody wants to come and do some work, just let me know, man. We're happy to have you come do some work. Come early. Come early Saturday, you know. But I will. I want to appreciate all of you. You guys all take care. Thank you all for subscribing, liking, and sharing. And hopefully we'll see you later in the week. See y'all.